Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Liv. I am the face behind the Instagram Live Label Free and the blog livelabelfree.com. I usually share healthy recipes, my personal story in recovery from an eating disorder, health, lifestyle tips, but today we are doing something a little bit different because today I am going to be sharing 10 foods you probably have not heard of unless you live in the Netherlands, of course. So yeah, I'm going to be sharing 10 foods that Dutch people eat every single day that most people have probably not heard of. First up, we've got cheese. So you're probably thinking like, I thought I had never heard of these foods because everyone knows what cheese is. And you're right, you caught me on that one. The first two foods I'll be sharing probably everyone has heard of because they are cheese and bread, but the extent to which Dutch people eat cheese and bread is probably unknown to most people. So Holland is like bread country and cheese country too at that. We eat bread for breakfast, we eat bread for lunch, sometimes we eat bread for dinner, we eat bread for snacks, we eat bread when we're hungry. We just eat bread, we like bread. It's no wonder that we like bread because Dutch bread is like actually the best bread I've ever tasted. Like I remember growing up in the United States, the bread is like packaged and often tastes like really fake. And I mean, like when you open the bread packet, like the fact that it stays fine for like over 3 weeks, that should be saying something about the freshness and amount of preservatives in the bread. But you know, I'm not gonna judge, I don't know the label, so if that's your kind of bread, do that. Whereas in Holland, there is freshly baked bread being made every single day, every single night, all around the country. Because bread is just a staple for Dutch people. Like I said, we eat it for breakfast, lunch, dinner, whenever. It's very important that we have good bread. And going off of bread and the fact that bread is basically the blank slate for everything Dutch people eat. Okay, not everything, but like especially breakfast and lunch, it's really important that you have a variety of foods to put on your bread because you don't want to be eating PB&Js or toast with egg or toast with avocado like every single day because you get really bored of that. So I've got to say that the Dutch really have outdone themselves and specialized in creating the widest variety of bread spreads that I think any country in the world has. Because Holland is also cheese country, like literally more than half, I'm pretty sure, of the country is composed of farmland and cows grazing on farmland. So it's no wonder that dairy products like yogurt, milk, cheese are just super popular here. If you go to the Dutch airport, if you go to any tourist stores in the Netherlands, one of the most important products that you will find there is cheese because the Dutch have also really specialized in cheese making. We have dozens and dozens and dozens of different kinds of cheeses. In fact, we have many cheese shops that just specialize in cheese. So I am personally someone who used to not like cheese, but I think that's probably because I was used to like cheese what it is in America. And I mean, like, you have good cheese in the US. Like, I'm not saying that cheese is bad there, but I mean, when I thought of cheese when I was living in the US, I thought of like Kraft singles, and that's not exactly cheese. So when we moved back to Holland, I was kind of like anti-cheese because I never really had like really good cheese. And it actually took me up until like this year to discover how good Dutch cheese is. cheese, bread, two of the most important Dutch food staples if you're like a normal Dutch person, if that makes sense. Like obviously if you're vegan, you won't be buying cheese, or if you're gluten-free, there's a lot, like that is a funny thing, there's a lot less gluten-free bread options here in the Netherlands. Like I feel like that's much more of a thing in the US, but you know, I don't, you know, so. Okay, so now that we've got bread and cheese, another very, very, very popular Dutch bread topping is hagelslag. Hagelslag is actually just sprinkles. It's chocolate sprinkles that you put on your bread with butter. Just like, it's actually just like you eat it like this in the picture. It's just bread with sprinkles. In the US, we would always, well, when I was about 5 years old, we started coming back to the Netherlands every summer to just, you know, live in the culture again, because both my parents are Dutch and I actually am Dutch too, but I moved to Boston when I was just a 6-month-old baby. But we would come back every summer and we just, you know, my parents would be like, look, this is what we eat in the Netherlands. And we would, every year when we would go back to the US, we would just have one suitcase full of Dutch goodies. So my dad would always bring like loads and loads of Dutch bread. He would bring cheese, like which is like vacuum packed, so it wouldn't go bad. Yes, that's the thing actually. We would bring hagelslag and a ton more stuff that I'm going to show later in the video. So when we had hagelslag, my parents would make my lunch for school and they'd put butter and hagelslag on my bread, on my sandwich. And my sister was telling me how one of her friends actually asked, like, why do you have mouse poop on your bread? And I just started laughing so hard because, I mean, it does kind of look like mouse poop if you think about it, but whatever. Not very appetizing. But then there's other people that just say, like, you put sprinkles on your bread and you eat that, like, for breakfast or for lunch. That's so unhealthy. And I'm like, not even. Like, Dutch people are actually pretty healthy people, and like, I know kids, almost every kid here eats hagelslag like multiple times a day and they are fine, they look healthy, so whatever. And then another Dutch person made the joke like, well, if someone says you put hagelslag on your bread, in America they have, I mean, a Dutch person said, you put sugar on your bread? Well, in America they have sugar in the bread, so what would you rather have? Another bread topping very similar to hagelslag but a little bit different, and it's funny because I just mentioned mouse poop, but this product is called muisjes, which means little mice, and they are usually blue and white little like pearl balls, or they are pink and white little pearl balls. So the reason for the blue and the pink is because muisjes are usually eaten when a baby is born. If a girl is born, they will celebrate by eating little toasts, beschuit, it's another Dutch thing, but they're just basically like little toasts, and you put butter and pink muisjes on them. And if a boy is born, you will have the beschuit with the blue muisjes. So it's just a very cultural thing to have muisjes, but they're also just really delicious. They taste like anise, that's actually what they're made of. Anise and sugar is what they're made of. So it's basically just like a sweet, crunchy anise sprinkle thing. And over here in our house at least, we eat them just like every day because they're just good. And there's not gonna be any babies born around here anytime soon. And obviously there's much more bread toppings in the Netherlands, like deli meats, cheese, I already said that. Peanut butter, jam, honey, butter, dairy-free spreads, cream cheese, the list goes on. But a third sweet bread topping is kokosbrood. And that literally translates to coconut bread. And I shared this on my story on Instagram a couple weeks ago, but it's basically, I call it coconut bread slice because I feel like people who are not Dutch can like process that a little bit better than coconut bread, because when you hear coconut bread, you probably immediately think of like a slice of bread that is made of like coconut flour or something. I don't know. But it's basically just another like sweet topping that is made of sugar and coconut, and it's just like patted together into a flat slice that tastes like sweet coconut. And you also eat that with butter, or really, you can also do it without butter, kind of what floats your boat. But it's just like super tasty. And whenever we would come to the Netherlands during summer vacation, I would always just eat that for lunch. I just have bread slice with hagelslag, or bread slice with kokosbrood, or with muisjes, or with peanut butter, because I still do peanut butter every day. Most Dutch people will just eat bread for breakfast, but I think with influence from like other countries and just the world becoming more like health aware, a lot more people do enjoy things like oatmeal, smoothie bowls, cereal for breakfast. Like we definitely have like cornflakes and treasure cereal and like Special K here in the Netherlands. Just the cereal aisle is probably like 1/20th of what it is in the US, so that was really something I had to get used to when I moved back here, because when I was a kid I just like lived off of like Fruit Loops and Apple Jacks and Cheerios growing up, so that was really weird. Coming here, like just the culture shock was a lot of like the food was the culture shock, and I also had my eating disorder, so that made everything a bit more complicated. But I'm so happy to say I'm over that, and I'm able to make a video like this now where I can just talk about food in a fun way, because food is meant to be fun and food is meant to be enjoyed, and it really should not be something that gets in the way of your life. So with that aside, speaking of like oatmeal and cereal and hot cereal and that kind of stuff, another very popular Dutch food is brinta. So you're probably thinking like, what even is this name, brinta? Yeah, I don't know why it's called this. Brinta does not mean anything. It actually only means this. Like if you ask any Dutch person what's brinta, they will say like, oh, it's brinta, like it's just this. And brinta is a whole grain cereal. It's a hot cereal that's made from volkoren tarwevlokken, so whole grain wheat flakes, and it's a very healthy cereal, like for kids, but for like anyone really, because it's basically just whole grain, just like oatmeal. If you're gluten free, you should not eat brinta because you will probably die, because it is made from 100% whole grain wheat. So yeah, and if you're dairy free, you probably don't want to eat brinta, like traditional brinta either, because you make brinta by heating milk on the stove or in the microwave, whatever you have, then mixing in the brinta until you have like a thick porridge consistency. So what I love about brinta is that unlike oatmeal, it's just done so quick. And I also have found with brinta that it's just delicious to eat just how it is, like without anything on it. My sisters and my mom like to do sugar, my dad likes to do sugar on it, but I just like brinta just how it is. I do like some banana and peanut butter on there, but I mean, I put banana and peanut butter on like everything, so yeah. But I think it's a lot more special than oatmeal, just different, you know. I believe that variety is key, so sometimes brinta, sometimes we have oatmeal. Most times we have oatmeal, but sometimes we have brinta. And I mean, what I love about brinta, just like with oatmeal, you can use any milk, like almond milk, soy milk, rice milk, oat milk. I have personally found with dairy-free milks that I love oat milk the best for brinta, because it adds its like own sweetness, and since this is just like wheat, I do like to add a bit of sweetness, so because I don't add the sugar on top of mine. So yeah, so enough about the brinta. Another very, very popular Dutch breakfast food or lunch, but usually breakfast, brunch kind of thing, is called Poffertjes. And I know that right now on Instagram the whole pancake cereal thing has become all the rave, but honestly for me I don't understand, because pancake cereal is basically just mini pancakes, and that's exactly what Poffertjes is. So growing up with Poffertjes, I just can't understand why people are just discovering pancake cereal now, because I mean, I already knew about pancake cereal before it was a thing. So, anyways, just like with hagelslag and bread and cheese and Brita, every year we would fly back to the US after our little summer vacation in the Netherlands. We'd bring boxes of Poffertjes mix, which is just mix for the Poffertjes, just like pancake mix. I mean, it's super easy to make yourself. Like, it's just flour and milk and eggs, baking powder, and a bit of yeast. That's like what makes, the yeast is like what makes Poffertjes just like special, I guess. But yeah, I guess we could have just like easily made ourselves, but I think just the nostalgia and like us feeling special having Poffertjes mix from the Netherlands at our home in the US just made us feel special, you know? So as a kid, in elementary school, we would also always have school breakfasts where like everyone just brings like their own dishes in. Like there would always be like that mom that would bring like the Dunkin' Donuts coffee boxes, and there would always be the mom that would bring a box of munchkins, and there would always be the mom that would bring like English muffins. But my mom was always the mom to bring Poffertjes. Everyone would just always look forward to the school breakfast for the Poffertjes because no one knew what they were. Like, it was so special and unique that everyone was like, oh my god, this is so cool. And you just serve them with butter and powdered sugar usually. But you can do like really anything, just like syrup. You could even put like peanut butter on there, but most people would not do that here. Like if you put peanut butter on your Poffertjes in Holland, like you'd probably get stares. The next 3 Dutch products are actually foods that I personally dislike like a lot, but they're so popular here that I just could not skip them. I could not leave them out, you know? And I mean, you can't love everything, you can't love everyone. So I'm just gonna go with it. But the first one is Stroopwafels. In America, they're imported there, and you can see them at Starbucks now. They've actually been in America for quite a couple years now for way overpriced. Oh, and they also sell them at Trader Joe's in mini version. But in the US, people don't know how to say stroopwafel because I mean no one taught them. So they say stroopwafel, but stroopwafel literally translates to syrup waffle, but in the US, it would just be more accurate to say caramel waffle, because basically all it is like 2 waffles with caramel, melts in the middle, it hardens, and you have a caramel waffle. So that was another thing that whenever we would come back from the Netherlands, we would bring like tons of packets of stroopwafels to like give to our friends and family who lived there. And usually we'd like have to pay extra money for the suitcase, which was way too heavy, because stroopwafels are like not expensive. Stroopwafels are heavy. Like, so for us it was expensive to bring them because we had to pay extra. At like every Dutch farmer's market, you can get giant, like probably like this big, like fresh stroopwafels, and I must say, even someone who does not like stroopwafels, me, like I don't like the store-bought kind, the fresh, warm market stroopwafels are like amazing. If you ever get the chance to visit the Netherlands, you have to have a fresh stroopwafel from the markt, which is like the farmer's market. Also in the sweets and candy section of the supermarket, you will find something called drop. And drop is also one of the most famous Dutch treats. But all it really is licorice. But here you have like tons of different kinds of drop. You have honingdrop, and that's the only one I can think of because I'm not a drop eater, because I just hate that licorice taste. Always have, probably always will. But who knows? Drop is just like a typical candy that, like just a typical licorice candy actually. But everyone in America usually like loves it because it's very special. But if you don't like licorice, you probably won't like it. But everyone in my family likes it, except for me. So the last Dutch food that I will be talking about in this video is called Ontbijtkoek. And Ontbijtkoek literally translates to breakfast cake. Ontbijt means breakfast, and koek actually means cookie or cake. So it's just like breakfast cookie, I guess, but it's more of a cake because you like slice it like a cake. I guess you could always also call it like breakfast bread, but because it's also like slightly sweet, it's not quite bread. I guess you could compare it kind of to like gingerbread cake, but it's not as like moist either as like traditional like pumpkin bread or gingerbread loaf or anything. So it's like, yeah, it's like denser. I don't know, it's really hard to explain. You just have to try it. It's not really usually eaten as breakfast because most people eat like bread or oats or brinta or like cereal or something like that for breakfast. And also like I don't think many people would just like casually eat cake for breakfast, but you could, because it's like a lot healthier than like traditional cake. It has like a lot less sugar and it's made with rye flour, so it's a lot more filling than if you had like a cake made with like all-purpose flour, sugar, and butter, which doesn't like really fill you up. But ontbijtkoek is usually eaten just with butter on it. And it's usually eaten just like as a snack, as a tussendoortje, which means like an in-between. That's what we call snacks here, in-betweens. Because in Holland, it's very like traditional to just have like breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snack. Like people definitely snack here, but I feel like it's not as much of a thing as in the US. Like in the US, you have so many snack options, like Goldfish, Cheez-Its, Oreos. Yeah, like now we do have Oreos here in the Netherlands. But I feel like it's just a lot more of a treat to snack here than it is in the US. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys loved this video. Like I said, it was something a little different, but I really enjoyed doing it. I enjoyed filming it. I enjoyed making it. Also to show you guys that it is totally possible to see food as a fun thing after an eating disorder. It doesn't ever have to be something that is feared, something that is scary, something to be anxious around, because like I said, food should be fun, food should be enjoyable, and you can too totally achieve that. If you guys have any questions for me or any suggestions for other fun videos that are maybe not very closely or at all related to health, fitness, recovery, just drop a comment below. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more videos from me, hit the subscribe button and the bell notification. You can also follow me on Instagram at livelabelfree. Subscribe to my blog, livelabelfree.com, to see more healthy recipes, eating disorder recovery tips, my personal story, just more day in the life kind of stuff. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye guys.